It's got to be real.
Be real. Be real. Yes, guys, so it's been a bit of a surreal day today. I don't even want to talk about it, but yeah, I just wanted to do something to get my mind off things. So, just a boxing video. Errol Spence Jr. I wanted to talk about. Basically, right, Dante's Boxing Nation, shout out to him, carried out an interview with Jeff Mayweather. Jeff Mayweather said that Errol Spence beats Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Kell, Brook, Danny Garcia, Kell, Brook, and Keith Thurman. Yeah, them three fighters. And Sean Porter. That was the other one. I just wanted to give my take on this and really dissect this. About Errol Spence Jr., where he currently stands in the welterweight division, in my opinion, and which fighters he can beat. Now, in boxing, I think that there's this misconception that if one fighter beats one fighter, he's better than that fighter. That isn't necessarily true. I mean, if there is a fighter, right, fighter A beats fighter B, right, but this fighter A has 50 losses on his record, whereas the fighter B who he's beaten, he only has one loss on his record to the fighter A, and he has beaten every world champion in the book. Does that make fighter A better than fighter B? Not necessarily. See what I mean? Well, it just doesn't. It just doesn't. You have to look at an entire resume, and looking at Errol Spence Jr. Is Errol Spence Jr.? I don't know what the hell's going on in my mind right now, so if I make any mistakes in this video, forgive me. But look, Errol Spence, right? He's a talent, he's really good, but I've definitely seen a flaw in him, a huge flaw very early. He's very flat-footed, okay? You can have good footwork and be flat-footed, and you can get away with it if you pivot well and you move well. But the thing is, you will never ever be able to be a great fighter, a really great fighter, without light feet, without really good footwork. I mean, you can have very heavy feet, but you've got to have extremely good footwork. There have been fighters in the past who have had heavy feet and been great fighters, but if you look at all the very best, the very, very best, they were all fast on their feet. You look at Sugar Ray Robinson, we look at Muhammad Ali, we look at even Floyd Mayweather of today. I do believe he is one of the best, very, very skillful. Tommy Hearns, all the great, great, great fighters had very fast feet. Even Roberto Duran was very fast on his feet. Errol Spence, I don't think he's got fast feet. I think he's very flat-footed, very slow. And I think that when he faces the elite opposition, you're going to see a flaw in him. And I think that you don't see this flaw until the person steps up in class. As we look into fighters such as Chris Eubank Jr., I mean, if you look at what he did against opponents who were of a lesser caliber, he was able to sit down in his punches and tee off. Whereas when you step up in class, them elite level fighters don't let you do that. Because they're always moving, you're trying to hit a moving target, and I think that Errol Spence is going to struggle against a moving fast target who punches back, who's really good at who's really fast, etc., etc. However, I think Errol Spence Jr. has something which is called timing, and timing can negate good footwork. If you have good timing and you can time someone coming in, when they're trying to control their range and pivoting, moving side to side, really moving this way, and then all of a sudden pretend that they're going to move this way, but move this way again, and then move this way, and then move back a little bit, move back and then move to the right, move back and move to the left, at the same time, pivoting, bang, bang, hitting you from certain angles. I think when Errol Spence comes across this, I feel he will struggle, but I also think there's a chance that he's going to be able to time, and when someone moves this way, really perfectly crack, hit them to the body, hit them to the head, and whatever. But I really do feel though that Errol Spence is going to he's gonna have some problems, in my opinion, when he faces that mover. So who are the best movers in 147 that he will face in the future? Mayweather Pacquiao, he's not ever gonna face. Get that right out of your head. I think Keith Thurman is a mover. Sean Porter can be a mover. I think Amir Khan can be a mover. I think the likes of Kell, Brook, Danny Garcia, I think them two in particular fighters, I don't think they've got very good they've got good footwork. Kell Brook's got very good footwork. He's probably got the best footwork out of the bunch. But he's not fast on his feet. You've got to be fast on your feet to beat Errol Spence, in my opinion. I think a person who's fast on their feet, who can pivot, who's just really a light boxer at 147, who can, tap you, move. Floyd Mayweather is a perfect example. I do think Amir Khan as well, I've got to say it. I think them fighters can beat Errol Spence. However, it depends if they could take the power of Errol Spence, the pressure of Errol Spence, if they can take his punch output, because he does have a high punch output. He punches very hard as well, and he's a pressure fighter, very good pressure fighter. On the other hand, the likes of Danny Garcia, the likes of Max Maidana, if he comes back to 147, Robert Guerrero, these type of fighters, I think he'll take him out. I think Errol Spence will take him out. I think Keith Thurman will pose a real significant threat to Errol Spence, not because of the punching power, but I think because of the footwork that Keith Thurman possesses, and he is quick on his feet. I have seen Errol Spence constantly walking like Canelo Alvarez, walking in the ring. You don't really see Errol Spence bouncing up and down on his toes, very fast on his feet, able to use the ring properly. Maybe I'm jumping the gun, but from what I remember of what I've seen a lot of Errol Spence. From what I remember, I haven't seen him in a while, but from what I remember of Errol Spence, what I've seen of Errol Spence, he tends to load up on his shots, telegraphs them, hits to the body, bang, 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 hits to the head, and he looks spectacular. Leave your comment section below. Please make sure you subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about. I could be wrong about this, but we have to see what Errol Spence is like when he moves up in class. Can he handle that footwork and that speed? That footwork, that really good fast footwork. Well, Keith Thurman has what Amir Khan has, straight up. Hell, even Paulie Malignaggi had it, but Paulie Malignaggi has never been a really good 147 fighter. Kell, Brook, I don't think's got it. Danny Garcia does not have it. Robert Guerrero does not have it. A lot of these top tier 147 pounders, I think Devin Alexander has got some good footwork. Timothy Bradley's got it, but we're looking at Al Heyman fighters, etc., etc., etc. Comment section below, subscribe as always. Am I missing anyone out? Who do you think Errol Spence will struggle the most against? I think he could possibly still beat these guys because he holds intangibles that these guys struggle against as well, such as hard body shots, which Keith Thurman struggles against, and hard head shots, which Amir Khan struggles against, and he's a pressure fighter, which Amir Khan also struggles against. But I'm just saying, I do think that the dynamic in terms of the footwork he will struggle with when he faces the elite top tier opponent, when he can't step into his shots and load up on his shots. For those of you who are boxed, if you're a power puncher, if you have time when the fight is on the rope to really load up on your shot and explode up here, or you're coming down, you pretend to go for the body, but you go for an uppercut. You pretend to go for the body, you hit an overhand right. If you've got time to load up on them shots, you can be a very dangerous fighter. But as soon as you get a moving target, you can't load up and time that shot well because the opponent's moving. You can't punch a lot easier. Prime example: Saul Canelo Alvarez, Ruslan De Lara. Please leave a comment section below. Make sure you subscribe. What do you guys think of Errol Spence? Do you think he will struggle with this footwork that I'm talking about? I heard he messed up Mayweather in sparring. I heard he made Adrian Broner quit. But what's he going to be like in the ring against a live opponent who has tremendous footwork and will not allow him to tee off on his shots and really load up on his shots? Comment section below. Subscribe as always. If you've got any videos where you think, or any fights of Errol Spence where he's dealt with this in the past and he's dealt with it well, please show me. I would love to see it. Comment section below. Subscribe as always in a bit.